I wasn't fully invested in the Paul George idea. I thought getting younger guys would have been better. Laurie Marketing, trading for him. He's worth, 18 mil a year. That would have been cheaper and it would have been a better move for the future. But Paul George, you can't ignore it. This is a good move, and this was on the table the best move the Sixers could have made. This guy fits in so well with Embiid and Maxey. Being that third option, I think that's going to change things with him being a playoff choker, all that stuff. He's had some moments where he came up short, but he also took the Clippers to the Western Conference Finals without Kawhi. And I feel like Joel Embiid, he's more available in the playoffs than Kawhi was these past couple seasons. And Joel Embiid averages 30 a game. Maxey averages 25 a game. So Paul George really doesn't have to be the scorer he was with the Clippers. 20 points a game will suffice. I mean, and you look at him as an upgrade, you plug him in for what Tobias Harris was supposed to be, and that's just improvement alone. So Daryl Morey did a great job getting Paul George. I think he's a perfect fit. This is probably the best big three we've seen in a while that fits. Everybody is very complimentary to each player in this big three. Embiid, what he does in the paint, Maxey as the point guard and the scorer he is at that position. And then Paul George, two-way wing defender. A guy that could give you, some nights he's the best scorer on the team. Other nights he's the best defender on the team. So Paul George, people forget how good of a player he is. At the end of this contract, he's going to be 38. But the Sixers are in win now mode. So getting Paul George, paying him that bag, it's going to be worth it if it results in a championship. And Paul George's best opportunity to win a championship is in the East. The West, he doesn't have to deal with those teams. You have to deal with Boston, and you have to deal with the Knicks right now. And the Bucks, Dame Lillard, Giannis, we'll see where they're at. Doc Rivers, but right now, the Knicks, the Sixers could give them some go, I think. Celtics too. It just all comes down to Embiid being healthy, and if the NBA gods allow the Sixers to have a healthy playoff run with Paul George, like I said, he doesn't have to be, what he was to take the Clippers to the Western Conference Finals. He doesn't have to be that scorer, the main option. He's going to be the third option. So if he could just be a consistent 20 points per game and have a couple games where he is your best scorer, the Sixers will be able to work with that. And Embiid, him being his dominant self. Now the Sixers, they made some great moves. Daryl Morey cooked. He, signed Andre Drummond, one of the best rebounders in NBA history. He's going to replace Paul Reed's position, a guy that already was in Philly and was shown that he belongs. And as that backup option for Joel Embiid, you saw the Knicks series. Joel Embiid, every time he was off the court, the plus and minus was terrible. The minutes Joel Embiid was off the court, the Knicks were able to have their way and get so many offensive rebounds. That won't happen with Andre Drummond in the building now. And Andre Drummond, he's a walking double-double machine. So that signing is really crucial. Eric Gordon, you might want to hate on it. He's a washed Houston Rocket. Daryl Morey loves those guys, but Eric Gordon still is a double-digit guy. 11 points a game with the Suns, and with the Clippers, that playoff run, he was one of their best players off the bench. So that is a good addition, I think. It's a cheap addition. Doesn't count against the salary cap. And look at some of the other holes they have to fill. Kelly Oubre, they brought him back, which I think that guy was a Sixers player. Just physicality, toughness, everything he provided was huge for the Sixers and what they were trying to do. 15 points a game. Some nights he was their third best player because Tobias Harris gave you nothing. And if he could just give you 15 points a game, probably bring him off the bench to have that spark off the bench because you have Paul George now. That's a really solid signing, team-friendly deal. So really like that 3-and-D guy. Some nights he could give you 20 a night. So really like the scorer he is, and it seems like he's bought into the Sixers culture and he really likes playing for the Sixers. Nick Nurse is a coach too right now. This is not Doc Rivers coaching. So this Sixers team, this is their year, I think. If things are to go their way, you could say that about every team in the NBA. If they have a healthy Embiid, he's going to play in the Olympics. Hopefully having more run will help him, build that sustainability in his knees finally. But him, if he's healthy, he should have won MVP last year if he would have finished the season off. The level he was playing was insane. So I think, if he's healthy, Paul George, he shows up a little bit. If he could give you 20 points per game. Kelly Oubre, these other guys, you re-sign Kyle Lowry, campaign, maybe bring Buddy Hield back, a Seth Curry, some of these other additions. The Sixers can compete with anybody in the East. Some people thought the NFC North was going to be the worst division in football this season. They thought it was going to be as bad as the NFC South.